What's up, guys? This is Jock from Cool Movie Reviews, and today we're reviewing Jurassic World Dominion. Was it good? Was it okay? Or was it whack? You gotta stay tuned to find out. Alright, guys, I'm back. Like I said, today I'm reviewing Jurassic World Dominion, and if you're new to my channel, my name is Jock, and I'm with Cool Movie Reviews, and we review movies and shows, right? And let me give you my format of how I review my movies. Usually, I review my movies by a three grading scale, right? And it's not really a grading A to B scale, but it's a unique scale. It's called. You must go see it. You have to see it. Drop everything you're doing. Drop your kids, your purse. Well, as a matter of fact, take your kids with you because you don't want to get in trouble. But drop everything. You got to go see this movie. It's pretty dope. Two, it's okay. You can wait till it gets on whatever streaming platform or services they decide to release it on. And three, it's whack. It's so whack. Don't go see it. Or don't even see it when it comes out on streaming. If you do see it, you got to either be bored or it's just you just drinking and it's just you ain't got nothing to do. Okay, that's how whack it is. All right. And like I said, I'm a movie buff and I love movies. So like I said, we're gonna review Jurassic World. So let's get into, first of all, the cast, right? It's not a surprise. This cast, it has some of the old and has some of the new. And what I mean by the new, if you're a fan of the original Jurassic Park series, the first movie came out in 1993, and it was directed by Steven Spielberg, one of the greatest directors ever, right? And with that, at that time, it was new cutting-edge technology, new VFX. It was just, everything was new, and the storyline was amazing. It was just new and fresh. It was original, something that movies don't really have that much these days, but that's a whole nother video and a rant that I'm going to probably another video. But it stars our originals. Our original is Lauren Dern as Ella, Jeff Goldblum is Ian Malcolm, and Sam Neill as Alan Grant. And these three have not aged a bit, okay? They might have got a little gray on them, they're gray, but still, they have not aged a bit, okay? So it's pretty cool. The new cast from the Jurassic World series, which is the newer series of the bunch of the Jurassic series or whatever you want to call it, stars Chris Pratt. And if you don't know who Chris Pratt, think of Star-Lord from the Guardians of the Galaxy. He plays Owen Grady. Bryce Howard plays Claire, his love interest. And then Isabella Serm, she plays, I think it's Mitzi. And she's from the last movie. I think she's inbred with dinosaur DNA. She's no. Yeah, but something like that from the last movie. That's a spoiler I can't give away in this particular review, but I will give you minor spoilers, but not too much because that's a big plot hole. And then we got Dawana Wise. Her name is she's Kayla Watts in this movie. And if you don't know who Dawana Wise is, this sister is amazing. Okay, she's played in She Gots to Have It. So if you haven't seen, that's a Spike Lee joint. It was originally came out in the 90s and they redid it. I think it's on Netflix. I think it did come out on Netflix. Pretty solid movie. She's also in Fatherhood with Kevin Hart. She was in Captain Marvel. She was in The Harder They Fall. And if you haven't seen The Harder They Fall, oh my God, that's a A+ movie. Let me say that. And I probably might do a review on that as well. But this sister is an up and coming actress. She's becoming one of my favorites. I like her. She's a pretty sister too. So salute to her. So great job. And so, like I said, what I want to get into today is things that I liked, all right? So we're going to start off with things that I like. So first, I want to get to the beginning of the movie. So how they started at the beginning of the movie, I was like a montage of how the dinosaurs and human beings are coexisting, right? So if you don't know what happened in the last movie, the dinosaurs were on this island. But let me backtrack. So if you haven't seen the Jurassic series, the Jurassic World series, you need to go back and look at 1 and 2, okay, or 4 and 5, whatever. They basically are doing the things that they're not supposed to do. They got the dinosaurs, they put them on this island, and they open up a park, right? Now, we know what happened in the original series. You don't do that, okay? Because you can't keep these particular things incarnated in a cage and think they're going to survive. That's not going to work, all right? Anything's not going to work like that. Well, anyway, make a long story short, in this last movie, they ended up getting in trouble. This island was blowing up, so they had to go rescue the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs, they bring them back to the mainland, and then a bunch of them got out, right? They was at this hotel, and these big billionaires trying to buy dinosaurs. It's some corrupt stuff, all right? So that's basically telling at the beginning of this movie what's happening. It's like, hey, this is how the world is coexisting with dinosaurs. You may be outside your door and you see a T-Rex run past your window, or you see a velociraptor eat your dog, or something crazy, right? That was amazingly done. That storytelling in that bit was perfect. I said, when I was watching, I was like, okay, we in for some good stuff. Okay, cool, let's go, right? So, like I said, that's one part I liked about it. Two, I like the original cast. When the original cast came in, it brought back that flavor of the old movies. Like, I'm an old head, so I come from the 90s. 93 was when the original movie came out, and you seeing them again, it's like, okay, we're back. They blended well with the dinosaurs. They understand that these things don't need to exist on this earth. What are you guys doing? Shout out to Ian McDermott, who's played by Jeff Goldblum. He's a well-established author. He's doing very well. All three of them are doing well for themselves, right? Laura Dern, her character she's not a paleontologist anymore. She's like a particular scientist where you go and you study like crops and fruits and things that's killing the environment. So she's something like that. And then Alan Grant is still the paleontologist out there teaching kids it's college kids how to wipe off dinosaurs and find dinosaurs in the earth and everything. So they're still doing great for themselves. Chris Pratt and his love interest, they still have the little girl that escaped from the last movie, with her, she's a clone. But they don't know who she's a clone of, but she's a clone. Just know she's a clone, okay? So with them meshing with the new cast and the old cast, it was okay, but I like the old cast better. That's just me. That's my preference, right? And Alan Grant and Laura Dern's character, man, they always had that love interest there. You always knew they had something, but Alan never could get over the hump and try to holler at her, so he just never did. But in this movie, it kind of prevails. So that's the second thing I like. The third thing I like was the visuals. Of course, the visuals, how they did certain things. If you've seen the trailer, they had a sequence. I forgot what country that was, where the velociraptors they had this chase sequence within the city, and Chris Pratt and them had to go on a rescue mission. That was executed very well, executed very, very well, shot very well. Cinematography on that was perfect. So good job on that. What else did I like? Like I said, I like the old cast. I like the sister, Kayla Watts. She like I said, she was a standout out of the newer cast. Well, DeWanna Wise, excuse me. She plays Kayla Watts. Out of all the new cast, she was a standout character to me because she captured the essence of like the Indiana Jones character, right? Her mom and dad were pilots, so she's a natural pilot. She's a smuggler. She smuggles anything that she can do to survive to make money. That's her character. But the way the story that they gave her and the way they written her, she was able to work with it, and she did a phenomenal job. So shout out to you, sister. So those are the things that I like. Now, let's get in to the things I didn't like. All right. And this probably might be my first video. I might have a couple of things I didn't really like about just a particular movie. One, I'm tired of this lazy writing. Listen to what I'm saying. Lazy writing, okay? What I mean by lazy writing. This happens in these trilogy series. And what I mean by trilogy series. So what a trilogy series is think of something like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings, right? Something that comes out like early in time, right? So Star Wars came out in the 70s and 80s, right? And then all of a sudden they remade them. George Lucas came back and remade them in the early 90s, in the 2000s. Then they come back and they make them again in the 2016s or our particular era. Now, I was alive for the early George Lucas ones when he made them in the 2000s, and then this one. You take that premise of what they did in the original ones, you keep adding it to this particular series. This movie suffered from that. This whole series has suffered from that, right? Let's get something new and original. Let's think of something outside the box, okay? When we do these, when we're writing these particular movies, when you're in the writing room, and I know there's battles when it comes to movie writing. And when you're trying to make a movie, it is a tough thing to do because you got all types of screenwriters. You got the director in there. Everybody's tugging to try to figure out what makes sense, what don't make sense. Then you got the studio's hands into it. When they put their hands into it, it doesn't make sense. So what happens in this particular movie, you can tell studio hands and lazy writing. So let's get another thing I didn't like, okay? This movie felt like 3 movies in one. It felt like a spy thriller. It felt like like I said, Indiana Jones. Then it felt like you threw some dinosaurs into a dinosaur movie, but the dinosaurs really weren't supposed to be there. Like, come on now. What are we doing? What are we doing, right? When this is a minor spoiler, but I'm gonna tell you. The villain, the whole premise and the villain of this particular movie, think of Elon Musk and Bill Gates had a baby. That's him, right? Super smart dude. Sits there, he wants to kill the world's grain and resources off so he can grow his own resources so everybody can come to him and pay him to get the resources. Almost like a form of population control. It's crazy. So when I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, this premise has been done 1,000 times, and I'm predicting the movie as it's going. He creates these big old locust grasshoppers, probably at least about this big. Now think of a locust, and if you know what a locust is they eat grain. They eat grain. If you get a bunch of them, they'll kill a whole farm and kill a whole grain of crops. He created the micro, like, big old locusts to go and kill people's crops. Now, in one part of the movie, the locusts killed the one set of crops, and then there was a farm over here that he was buying up everybody's farmland. Then he created the grain, and then they didn't touch his grain. So I'm like, okay, if it was executed well, it could have been a good premise, but it wasn't executed well, okay? And like I said, it's 3 movies in one. It's like, this doesn't make any sense. It's kind of taking me out the movie. Then we get to the last 30 minutes. The last 30 minutes was good because it focused on the dinosaurs, right? But still, you open up a park. You gotta now. Let me tell y'all guys this. Again, we're going back to an island or a park, but an island with dinosaurs, and we're trying to recreate Jurassic World or Jurassic Park again. We've seen this over and over and over and over and over and over again. I'm tired of seeing it. So that's another thing that I didn't like. And then another thing that I didn't like. Let me say this, and this is not a spoiler because they say this is the last movie of this series, but I don't think it is. It has to be a closing point at one point. It's just like the Fast and the Furious series. It has to be a closing point. We got to stop making these movies. We got to start thinking of something new. And I think that's where the fatigue comes in. So that's for me, man. This is my review of this. Now let me give you my final thoughts and my final grades. My final thoughts of this movie. Is this a fun movie? It's a real fun movie. Don't get me wrong. It's super fun. It's a fun movie that you could take the family to go see, especially if you got kids that like dinosaurs. If you even like dinosaurs, you'll have fun with it, right? And it was a good time if you don't take it serious, right? Don't take it serious. It's a good time. But would I recommend you to go see this in the movie theaters? I would say you can probably, this is okay, and now this is how I'm going to do this. You can either catch it on streaming or you can catch it in a matinee, right? And what a matinee is, you can catch it on your off days or a day that you don't go to work or it's a holiday. Somewhere where you can spend like a $9 movie ticket, if that's how movie tickets still cost. And by the way, you guys need to get AMC StubHub because AMC StubHub is amazing. And they're not sponsoring this video, but AMC StubHub has a lot of rewards and everything like that. So just a shameless plug. AMC, if you ever watch this video, free plug, okay? But I would say do it like that, okay? And it's already out. You don't have to go see it, but just do it like that. That's what I recommend. And also, what I'm gonna try to do, guys, is I'm gonna try to get these. Cause I've been having life is hit, right? I'm gonna try to get these reviews out faster, and trying to get them out right when they hit. I'm working on some things in the back end to try to get where I can get early views on movies and everything like that. But it's kind of hard to do where I live at. So, but definitely, that's my review of Jurassic World Dominion, man. Like I said, it's a crazy movie. It's a funny movie, but in the same breath, man, it's a mess. Okay, it's a mess. But anyway, guys, please, if you're new to my channel, subscribe. Subscribe. The subscribe button is right there. Don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button. Hit it. Like the video. Share the video. Get it out there to your friends, especially if they love movies. And my next review will be Thor: Love and Thunder, so be looking out for that. I'm actually going to go see that this Thursday, so be looking out for that. Hopefully that's good. And then if you ever wanted to reach me on anything or everything, I have an email address. It's called coolmoviereviews@gmail.com. And eventually I'm going to get some social media going, Instagram and Twitter, so just be on the lookout for that. But anyway, guys, once again, thank you for watching the video, and I'm out. Peace.